If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
There is a camera. Oh my gosh. Where is it? Here. Oh my god, there's cameras in the trees everywhere. All over the place. Where is it again? What the hell? And over there too. Oh my god, there's cameras in the trees.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. If some of you haven't heard this story, you probably should. In regards to a rally that took place for people who don't like a certain potion, and apparently they found a camera and a microphone inside of a tree. Now, this supposedly has been debunked, which obviously whenever we hear anything debunked, we listen to these stories that get debunked, and no one ever debunks anything. But in the case of this, even if it wasn't a camera in the tree, which I'm about to show you, the issue here shouldn't be people going, I can't believe that they've got a camera in a tree. Hi, this is your conscience speaking. They have cameras everywhere. You're walking around with one in your pocket. You've given up all rights to privacy already by bringing Alexas into your home, by letting Big Brother put cameras on streetlights telling you it's in case somebody runs a red light so we can catch them because that's so important. Well, I mean, of course it's important. You don't want anyone to get in an accident, but you know, we'll put cameras all over. We'll fly drones from above. We'll have the Channel 10 choppers flying above, etc., etc., etc. And people just have continued to give up their rights. So now, when a story like this comes out and they debunk it and they tell you that it's some type of butt plug for a tree to keep the tree alive, all right, maybe it is one. Nobody needs to go crazy and say, oh, that's a conspiracy. It was really a camera, because they've already got cameras all over the place. This ain't 1984 anymore. It's way more advanced. Remember in 1984? I covered that when they had to escape. They tried to escape. They went out into the woods because it was the only place they could go without Big Brother having the technology to spy on them. Well, those days are long gone.
Hello? We're all right. There's no microphone here.
It takes a little while to realize you're not being overheard.
And now we have stories like this where people shouldn't even be surprised if it was a real camera or not, because Big Brother is everywhere and he's always watching.
There is a camera. Oh my gosh. Where is it? Here. Oh my god, there's cameras in the trees everywhere. All over the place. Where is it again? What the hell? And over there too. Oh my god, there's cameras in the trees.
So like I said, they love stories like this because even if they're in the right, even if nothing actually occurred and it was something for a tree, they love to see people go, oh, protesters are going crazy about a spy cam in a tree when we know they have the technology to do far worse. For crying out loud, you know, I covered recently, the Apple Ring, right? The new Apple Watch that calls 911 from the middle of the woods. I mean, there is no privacy anymore. We all are aware of that. So what they did was they came out and they quote unquote debunked it as being a arbor plug, or like I said earlier, a butt plug for a tree. And I mean, it really does look like a camera lens. But this is what people shouldn't be getting crazy and wild about, because we've already given up all of these rights to Big Brother. We've already let them take total control because everybody was walking around in La La Land going, I don't care about my privacy. What am I doing that the government needs to see anyway? I don't care. I don't care. Oh, and now that people are finally waking up because of everything they're seeing going on around all the countries in the world with total control, tyranny, and everything else, they're finally starting to go, holy crap, they don't have our best interest at hand and we're screwed. We can't have happen in Australia what's happening, or I should say we can't have what's happening in Australia happen in America or anywhere else because all the citizens have given up their rights to the bang bangs. Thus, the government does not care about protests or anything else, just like they don't care in Canada, which of course, these things are all being controlled by all the governments of the world. And everybody's just like, no, the people are fighting back. The people aren't fighting back because we've given up our rights to them. They have total control. And things like this, for people to even be going crazy about a camera in a tree, of course they should be, if it's a real camera, of course. But why would they be surprised at this point? People are literally walking around with HD cameras in their pockets. Do these people know about the Patriot Act? Are they familiar with the fact that we gave up our right to privacy 20 plus years ago at this point? That we said, oh, well, because the boogeyman might be in the cave, well, we better give up our rights to privacy. Or how about, have you been to a bank recently? Well, I don't know how many of you actually have gone to a bank or been to a bank, but say within the last year, they have signs in the bank that say because of the Patriot Act and to protect your safety, we need all of this information from you before we could open up a bank account. I mean, it's just total and utter control and madness. So like I always say, one of the things they love out of this stuff is to mock, right? They deflect attention. They bring attention to these types of stories. Even a story like this, it hit 200-something thousand people on TikTok, which is not a big number. I mean, look, of course it's a big number. I'm not saying it to be like egotistical. I've got videos that have gotten 250,000 views before. They're not going to bring attention to stuff like that unless they want to bring attention to it and hold the middle finger up in everyone's face and say, we're going to do this. We'll get away with whatever we want and no one's going to be able to do anything about it. Oh, and then we'll have it tagged with debunked by uncredible, horrible sources like Snoops or Snopes. I can never even say it right, which is the biggest laughing stock on the internet. They'll talk about any topic and just go, false. Huh? Where's the debunking part? I love the stuff with debunkers. Do they know what debunk means? Talking about it, making fun of it, and calling people crazy is not debunking. That would just be lazy journalism, kind of like the stuff we see day in and day out on the TV. But like I showed you in the clip from 1984, those days are long gone too. Because even having privacy out in the wilderness doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't. And I'm not saying, oh, every tree out in your woods has a camera. And of course not. Of course not. But if you don't think they have the technology and the capability to do this, then you're sleeping under a rock. And I know that everyone who listens to my channel is aware that they have the technology and the capability to do it. And if they have that, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. Your car's being tracked with your GPS. You're being listened to on your phone. You're being listened to on your smart TV. You're being listened to with your Alexa. So then it gets to the point where you go, well, at what point did you want to say, hey, I don't want anyone listening to me? Because it's too late now. People like me have been screaming about this for so long. Some of my first videos on this channel were talking about how we're turning our homes into prison cells because they're never going to be able to jail everybody and throw them in a prison cell because there aren't going to be enough prison cells. Then all they need is this access to your home with cameras, with listening devices, so then their algorithms could read trigger words and come to your front door. So when they take a story like this and then they debunk it, whether there's truth behind it or not, whether it's really the tree's butt plug or an actual camera, even though it looks exactly like a camera, people should be more concerned with the fact that we have just lost and given up all of these things that were ours, which is privacy. That belongs to you. It's yours, not theirs, yours. And we've given it to them because we needed fancy technology, fancy phones, people getting lazier by the second. They need the Alexa to flush the toilet for them. Alexa, can you dim my lights? Are you that incapable of getting up and dimming the lights? We all right? Apparently not. Apparently not. So that's what the outrage should be about. The fact that technology like this even exists, that they would have the capability to do it. And they'll admit to you that they do. We know that they do. I've covered almost every story about these devices in our homes spying. We know that they fly drones around. I mean, Where's the regulation on who owns the sky above your home? Oh, the government owns it. So they can fly drones over your house and spy on you. Oh, and then again, the problem is that the people just go, oh, I don't, what am I doing? And now that people have become awake to what's going on with the tyranny that's coming, with the total control that the government is bringing in, because obviously, if you don't believe that's what's happening, you don't have a brain, okay? I mean, everything they say is hypocritical. None of it makes sense. They use trigger words like science. It goes back, it goes forth. And we just see rights being taken away from people. Rights, 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 privacy, privacy, privacy. That's the game of the New World Order. Because once they have your privacy, they have control of you because they're constantly monitoring you. And yes, they're using algorithms and things like that because the more you're going to see less and less employees at the NSA and less employees working in the government probably. And this is where we are, folks, in 2022, where stories like this even come out and they're like, the anti-poaching people are outraged. Oh, did it take you that long to get outraged? Even if it wasn't a camera or was a camera, you're finally outraged now? These are the same people, a lot of the anti-poaching people who called us all crazy. We were a fringe minority of people who actually believed that all this stuff was going down. Now more people see it going down because they're dividing people amongst everything. Conspiracy versus non, poaching versus non, white versus black, men versus women. The list goes on and on and on. Continue dividing people up, put them into territories. I mean, it's an insanity. And then they come out and they debunk stuff like this. But they don't come out and debunk all the other crap that comes out about their devices spying on them because people just shrug their shoulders and go, I guess I'll just let them do it because, I don't have anything to hide. Well, guess what? Those days are long gone. You're going to have plenty to hide if you're not completely cooperative with Big Brother in the future. A reminder, check out the website at callforuprising.com. It's $2.99 a month. I hope to see everybody over there. I want to thank everyone for your support. Let me know what you think of the tree butt plug. I mean, it looks like a camera to me. I'm not going to go crazy about it and be like, it is a camera. They're just saying it's a plug, but it's really a camera. Because the simple fact is, like I said in this video, is that they're already doing this stuff all over the place. You wouldn't even be able to tell where there was a camera. And I doubt they would put it at such a low spot instead of putting it up above in a tree, because they know humans aren't going to climb up the trees. And then up there, they have more of an aerial shot of people. That would be to me, that would make sense. And I would think if this was their game that they're playing here, that they would know how to operate it properly. But, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Just hearing a story like this gets my blood boiling because, these imbeciles just let our privacy continue to go away. And there's people who are conspiracy theorists who didn't even care about privacy. They would say the same thing. I don't care about it. It's so cool to have the newest tech. And I'd say you don't understand what this is leading towards. Privacy is all you've got. If you don't have privacy, you don't have anything. As far as in this world, in this life. And yes, I'm not talking about spiritually with Jesus Christ. I'm just talking about if you give up your privacy to the government, you don't have even free thought because they're in your homes listening to you, following you, and trying to minority report you with pre-crime and other stuff. And that's frightening. I thank you guys for being here. Hope you're doing well. God bless you and your families.